Hello everyone. In this lecture we are going to study about cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, in earlier lecture we have seen that vector can be represented by three independent vectors. Okay, that is x, y and z. So an example is unit vector along x, unit vector along y and unit vector along z. And we know that any vector can be built out of these three vectors. So for example, I can build a vector called A equals to minus 2 x hat plus 3 y hat minus 1 z hat. And any vector at all can be constructed using these three vector. But there is no requirement that we should use these particular vectors. I could have used some other set of vector. Okay. For example, supposing I define vector u, which is nothing but x hat. I will define v as x hat plus y hat, w as x hat plus z hat. So if I draw them, this is what it look like, this orange color vectors. So I have a coordinate system. This is x, this is y, this is z. And my vector u is, my vector v is this one, and my vector w is this one. Okay, I have drawn a square this way. I have three vectors for these types. Okay. So u is actually along x-axis, v is in plane of x and y, and z is in plane of w is in plane of z and x. Okay. So now it turned out that I can use u, v and w to construct any vector. Okay, just like I could construct using x, y and z. So I can construct any vector at all using u, v and w. So let's try out for this example a itself. Okay, so I'm going to use that, and how will I do it? Well, let's do it. I try to figure out these three vectors: unit vector along x, unit vector along y and unit vector along z. What are they? So x is equals to u vector itself. Okay, it is a particularly simple example because shown in this way. So I can write down x, unit vector along x, unit vector along y, unit vector along z in terms of u, v and w. So I will write down what is a. So a is minus 2 u vector plus 3 v minus u minus 1 w minus u. So I am getting from this equation my y, and from this equation my z. X is equals to u. Okay, so this is how I got vector a, which is minus 4u plus 3v minus 1w. So it's a rather straight result. I have nice straightforward vector. If I was plotting, it is 2 unit away from x, it is 3 unit along y, it is 1 unit along z. So I will just draw rectangle, complete it, make a cube out of it, and this point an arrow downward from the origin to that point a. This is my point a. So some strange reason that a actually say it requires minus u to start with. So we want 4 unit of u, but once we have to take care v and w. So we want actually minus 4 unit of u. So the reason why this strange results happen is because when we look at the element we used to construct a are u, v and w. What you find is that to construct w, or v, you not only moved in direction of y and z, you also moved in direction of x. So a actually has 2 units along minus x, 3 units along y and minus 1 unit along z. So to take care of y and z, you have to move along v and w, but when you move along v and w, you end up moving along x as well. Okay, so you move so much along x, you actually move 4 units along x. So by the time you have taken care of this distance and this distance, you end up with a minus of u. But what this means is that if you had such a strange coordinate u, v and w, you couldn't predict ahead of time how much u, so how much v or how much w there is in this vector a. Okay, so straightforward vector, but by the time you have finished with figuring out its coordinate, you are getting strange answer. Okay, so this is why people have come with some simpler coordinate system, some useful coordinate system which do not confuse us. These coordinate system are called orthonormal coordinate system. Okay, so what is orthonormal coordinate system? For any vector a, I always a equals to minus 2x hat plus 3y hat minus 1 z has. Supposing I now want to take the dot product of a along some direction, so I can say I want to know how much u there is. So I do the dot product of a dot u vector. So now the product is distributive. That means if I have sum of vector, then dot u, then the sum can be pulled out and dot can be done with each individual quantity. Okay, and immediately there is a problem because v into u and w into u, what are they actually? So if I write, I will just clear it once. So v dot u is actually x hat plus y hat dot x hat is equals to 1. As we know, x into x in dot product of two vectors along means two same means one vector with itself is 0 and x is 1 and with another vector it is 0. Okay, similarly w into u hat will give you x hat plus z hat into dot x hat, so it is also again 1, and a dot u is actually minus 2 at the end, so u into u is 1, 3 dot u v dot u is 1 and w dot u is 1. So I will have minus 4 plus 3 minus 1, so it is minus 2. So answer doesn't turn out to be minus 4, it turned out to be minus 2. Okay, if answer is turned out to be minus 4, I would require this would be 0 and this would be 0. And if they were both 0, then the answer could come out directly from here. Now that happened in the case of Cartesian coordinate system. Let us verify that. Take the same vector A and I want it in the direction of y. Okay, so it is again it is coming out to be 3 along y direction, because this is 0, this is 0 and this is 1. Okay, so this is my vector A. So for the Cartesian coordinate system, if you take the dot product with one of the building vector, you get coefficient that is used to build up your vector. And it is very useful property of coordinate system, because that way you can figure out how to form this vector A giving building blocks vector. All you have to do now is say that my vector A, okay, dot x hat plus a dot y hat into y hat plus a dot z hat into z hat. So this is true for coordinate system like Cartesian system. It is not true in bad coordinate system like this one. I used u, v and w. It's a major difference, and it is so major that nobody use non-orthogonal system if they can avoid it. So what are properties of orthogonal system? We know that for Cartesian system, x into x is equals to 1 and x with different y is equals to 0. So this is general property of orthogonal system. So if you have a system consisting of E, I, J, it is J, then it is equals to 1 if I equals to J, and it is 0 if I is not equals to J. So you can see half diagonal everything is 0, other than diagonal everything is 0. So let us look at some example for orthogonal system. They include all the common coordinate system, obviously the coordinate system. So we have just seen that if it is orthogonal, but there is another coordinate system that is orthogonal. So this system look like this: x plus y hat under root 2, x hat minus y hat under root 2 means by under root 2, and z hat. So I go on diagonal of square formed by x and y, rectangle formed by x and y. I will be along diagonal, but its magnitude is under root 2 time, 1 by under root 2 time. Okay. So I don't go to full length. Then x hat minus y hat by under root 2. I go backward of y and then form rectangle and then again diagonal, but again it is not full length. So I know that each of these angle is 45 diagonal, because this is 90 degree, it's an orthogonal system. So this is 45, this is 45, this is 45, this is 45. So I will just erase it once. This is 45 and this is also 45. So it is total is 90. Okay. So obviously this dot product, this vector is 0 and both of these vectors are 90 from z vector. So they are all orthogonal to each other. So let us verify that x plus y had by under root 2. I am taking one into another vector. I am just doing dot product. I am getting this value and it is 0. So these are orthogonal system. Are they orthogonal? Because I need also this condition of I equals to j. So for that I just do again dot product by itself. What do I get? So it is a general statement actually. If you take x, y and z coordinate and I rotate it anywhere, okay, I can rotate it about x axis. I do here. I can rotate it in general 3D. It still be orthogonal coordinate system. Okay. Starting cylindrical coordinate system, we will see how do I specify the points. So if this is the plane and if I want to locate this house, I had to specify them by giving x axis and y axis coordinates, right? And I had to tell you how to move along x direction, that value you are going to move and proceed vertically until you reach this house. This is xy plane and this is the particular point was given the coordinate x and y, indicating the amount that you had to move along x and y direction. So if you want also specify the height, you had another option going to z coordinate system. So this is rectangular Cartesian system that we studied. Is there any other way of specifying the location of house? The answer is yes. Instead of specifying the distance move along x and y, why not specify the distance from reference or origin to the house and the angle of the road, assuming that there is road in that particular angle. So what is angle road that I have to take in order to reach that house? So also I am saying that if you start from origin, you want to reach this point, you head towards the house at an angle say phi as measured from x axis, because angle is some quantity that you always have to measure with respect to two lines. So measure angle with respect to x axis, and this is conventional choice and what distance you have to move. That distance let us call as r. So can I now find out what is r and what is phi? Here is a small point. In some of the textbook you will find r actually denoted by rho, and I am not using rho for a very important reason, because rho for us is a charge density. And if you use rho, there might be a case where I will write rho L unit vector rho, and at least for me the kind of start getting confused. Rather than that, I know that r stands for radius. Okay, so I am going to use r as my variable over here and applying the law of right angle triangle. If this is x and this is y, obviously r will be x square plus y square under root. And how do I calculate phi? Again, you use trigonometry relationship. Phi is nothing else tan inverse or inverse of tan of y by x. So these two will give me the equal end of point on cylindrical coordinate system, just as x and y points would give me the value of a point or a coordinate of a particular points. So this is called cylindrical coordinate system. R, phi and z, where I have z axis, but instead of x and y I have choose to think in terms of circle. So any point I say has a radius r and then angled with x axis phi. So any point in three-dimensional space can be captured by specifying r, phi and z. Okay, so now we know we can do that because x, I will just rub it once. We know that we can do that. Any point can be specified in three-dimensional by capturing r, phi and z. And we can do that because x is equals to, if you write x is r cos phi and y is again r sin phi. Okay, so I can specify a point x, y and z. I can specify it in r, theta and z also by using this relationship. What my point? So now on three-dimensional you have to imagine that there is a cylinder of particular or appropriate radius, and I am still going to use x, y, z Cartesian coordinate system. But now I am going to imagine a cylinder of some radius r, and if I want to locate a point P here, all I have to do is to give the radius of cylinder and also give you the height of point above z 0 plane. This is my z equals to constant plane, and when it is at origin z is equals to 0. So at z equals to 0 plane I have to give, from that point I have to give the height. Okay, so I have the height which is z. Okay, now I also have to specify what is the angle. So in order to do that, when I have to drop down the particular, like I have to drop down this line on x and y plane and then measure the angle of line with respect to z axis, so as to give you the angle phi. So quickly let me finish up by giving you the value of r, phi and z. Also r is fairly simple. R value will be always in between 0 to infinity, phi will be between 0 to 2 pi, and z will be minus infinity to infinity. As radius can't be negative, maximum value of circular angle is 2 pi. Okay, now comes differential length. Okay, so r is simple, fairly simple. This is dr. This distance is my dr. Sorry, I will just erase it once. will just erase it. So r is this, dr is this length. So this is dr in direction of r, in the increasing radial direction. It is increasing in this direction. Okay, along phi, interestingly, we will have r, this is r d phi, not sigma, this is r d phi. Okay, now because phi itself is angle, it is not distance. You need to measure that and you need to multiply with appropriate radius that you are looking at. So if this is your radius r and this is the distance that you have moved, d phi, then the arc length here is r into d phi, and that is line segment here along phi. Now along z, it is simply dz, no change from rectangular coordinate system. Okay, so this is your differential length. So dl you can write as dr into r unit vector, r into d phi, phi unit vector, dz into z unit vector. Okay, so how do we obtain the unit vector r, phi and z? That I have written down for the cylindrical coordinate system in the last slide. So well, let us recap cylindrical coordinate thing. Now this is cylindrical coordinate system. I am writing everything in two-dimensional case, that is with only x and y, because z is essentially the same as rectangular coordinate. So there is no change in rectangular coordinate line segment. So let us not get bothered about 3 line segments for that one. So you have x and y coordinate system over here. Any point here we have previously mentioned as x and y. Now we are representing this as a point r and phi. Okay, so where should r and phi unit vector be located? Well, remember what is r? R is the distance from origin to the circle over here. So it is increasing in a particular direction. So if I want to write down a circle of different radius, I will be writing down a circle like this. So the circle is actually expanding. So r is increasing in this way. So unit vector of r could also be along this particular direction. So this is the direction of unit vector r. So first of all, we know that the angle phi is measured with respect to x-axis. So I will just erase it once. So now we know this is vector, unit vector r. Okay, now angle is measured with respect to x. So the unit vector must be in direction of increasing phi, measured with respect to x-axis. So phi must be along this direction. Okay, because it is increasing in this way. It will be 90, then 180, then 270, then 360. So that is the direction of my phi unit vector. Okay, so you have r vector, you have phi vector. You can rewrite these vectors here in slightly better way. Okay, so I have r vector, unit vector, I have phi vector here, Okay, and same point I also have x and y with the idea that this angle is phi and this angle is 90 minus phi. And what is the relation? I know that any vector in this particular xy plane can be expressed in term of xy unit vector. I know that so now I can write down r vector as something times x vector plus something times y vector. So what is that something? You can see that relationship between r and phi can be obtained by taking this r, and if you imagine that this one is phi angle, you can find out what is the length of particular component, and this particular component length will be cos phi and the other length will be sin phi. So this is something times x hat plus something y hat. So this equations are expressed as cos phi x hat plus sin phi y hat. Okay, so what is the magnitude of r? The magnitude of r is 1. Similarly, you can show that the unit vector phi can also be written in terms of x and y. So this is phi in this particular direction. Okay, so phi along y axis, I will just clear it once. So phi along y axis will be, this angle is phi, this is 90 minus phi, so this is phi, it will be sin phi. Okay, it's 90 minus phi is phi. Okay, and along x axis it is, sorry, this is my sin phi, this is my cos phi, and this is in negative direction, so it is minus. So phi can written as minus sin phi x plus cos phi y. So I talk about this particular thing that r vector along x is cos phi, along y is sin phi. What exactly did I mean when I said that one vector is along another vector? As we studied in dot product, okay, by using dot product you are actually giving projection of one vector on another vector. So same thing is happening here. So this is exactly what I meant when I said I have r vector which is unit vector in the cylindrical coordinate system, and then I have x vector which is unit vector in Cartesian coordinate system, but I know that both r can be expressed in term of x and y. So we have already seen how to decompose any vector. So if now drop a perpendicular from r to x, the length of this perpendicular will be exactly equal to, if say this is phi angle, so it will be exactly equal to cos phi. Why? Because the length of this one is length of this one is cos phi. I need to multiply this one by unit vector z x there along x direction. So I am going to get cos phi x vector. So I hope from this discussion the relationship of r and phi in terms of x hat and y hat are very clear to you now. In differential surface area and volume, we will see where all my things, I mean, like r, theta, phi and z are constant. So the unit vector along r means keep theta constant and z constant and change r. So I am now going to draw a general point where on cylinder it comes to some height z and we have come to some angle phi. At this point z is vertically up, okay, and that is z hat. So r direction means keep z fixed. This is my z is fixed, and keep theta fixed. This is where theta is fixed, and increase my r. So in this direction my r is increasing, okay. This is called r direction. The phi direction means keeping z fixed and r fixed, but very theta. So this is called theta direction, okay. So you are moving along the circle and the direction along circle is this, you can say tangent to the circle. So now once again theta, r and theta unit vector are clearly orthogonal to z because z is coming out of the surface, if you assume, okay. But what about between themselves? Well, if you look from above, it is a circle, okay, and this is my x-axis, this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis, okay. So r is along radius and theta is along tangent. R is like this, theta is like this. So one is tangent, other is normal. It is easy to show that these two are at 90 degree. So this is again orthogonal set, but is a strange orthogonal set, very useful but very strange. So it is a strange because supposing I change my angle, I go to some point over here, so I got a new theta now. Tangent is in this direction and r will be in this direction. So z has not changed, but my unit vector r no longer pointing in this direction, and my unit vector theta is now pointing in this direction. So this is a coordinate system that depend on point where you are looking. If you look at this point, r point like this away. If you are looking at this point, r is here. If you look at this point, I will be coming out away from the origin in this direction. But even so, this is a orthogonal coordinate system, which means if you have these three, you will still have e, I, e, j equals to 1 and 0 if I is equals to j and I is not equals to j. So now this is how this is orthogonal system, and we will see if you will see on this circle, my r will remain always constant. So here my r is constant. On this plane, with respect to x, my angle is fixed, so for this phi is constant, and for this point plane, this plane, my z is constant. Okay, so these are my constant planes. Remember, in Cartesian coordinate system, any point of vector, the corresponding vector was also very easy to find out. The corresponding vector was x hat plus y hat. The direction of x and y do not matter where I was situated, right? On this 2-dimension case, a plane, I do not care where I'm situated, because x and y would always pointing in same direction. Okay, suppose if I am at this point, it is in this direction, x, y is in this direction. If I am at this point, again x is in this direction, y is in this direction. So x direction will not change, y direction will not change. Even if you are considering z will be always pointing upward. Okay, so do not change when I move at different point. All of the 3 unit vector will not change. Is that the same case with radial vector or the vector in cylindrical coordinate system? Well, we will try. Okay, so how do I specify the vector in coordinate system? Well, I go back and relate them to Cartesian coordinate. R is given by cos phi x hat plus sin phi y hat. Z will be z in only. Phi hat is equals to minus sin phi x hat plus cos phi y hat. Now consider 2 cases. First, phi is equals to 0, which means I am actually along x axis, as we have said that theta is measured with respect to x axis. So in that case, I am along x axis. There is no angle change. Okay, so with phi equals to 0, what will happen to r and phi hat vectors? There is no change on them. Means z will be not change, z will be still pointing upward, but r at phi is equals to 0 is pointing entirely along x axis. If I put phi equals to 0, cos phi is 1, sin phi is 0, so this term is not there, so I am totally pointing along z x direction. R is totally pointing along x direction, correct? So if this is my x axis and this is my y axis, R is pointing along this direction. Interesting. What happened with R at phi equals to 90? Again substitute over here. Phi is equals to 90, cos 90 is 0, sin 90 is 1. Okay, so you are going to get follow along y. So the vector at phi equals to 90, r vector will be pointing along y direction. So at any other point it would be pointing along different direction depending on the value of phi. So what is the lesson here? The direction of vector r depends on phi. This is a very very important lesson which is not found in Cartesian coordinate system. So you would be not really thinking about this one when you are trying a different coordinate system, but it is very very important to note that except for Cartesian coordinate system, in general in other coordinate system the direction of unit vector do change as you go at different point in space. Okay, So this is very critical that you remember this. Similarly, what will happen to phi vector? Phi vector at phi is equals to 0 will be pointing along y direction, right, because cos phi is equals to 1. Same phi at 90 degree, it is interesting that the same vector will be now pointing along minus x direction. So again the phi vector also depends on phi. So does it means that I have to all the time specify r as function of phi or phi as a function of phi? No, because it will be simply clutter up our equation. We are not going to write down this function dependence on phi every time, but we understand that in cylindrical coordinate system and next coordinate system that we are going to discuss called spherical coordinate system, the direction unit vector are going to be different at different location and space. So you will ask, where is this important? Okay, well, this become very important when you have vector inside the integral. So I do solve those integral. Turn out that those integral can be solved provided you convert cylindrical coordinate system vector into rectangular coordinate system. So call this as C and this as R. Okay. Now see these equation. R is given by cos phi x hat plus sin phi y hat. So all the conversion method we are going to use the concept of dot product that we have introduced. Okay, so in this equation, if you forget about y for a minute and look at this equation, r hat equals to something times unit vector along x hat. Remember the definition of dot product, a dot b equals to some length times the vector component of b along a was equals to dot product value times the vector unit vector along x, correct? So that was preciously what we discussed in terms of dot product. So in this case you can clearly see that this cos phi would represent the dot product of r hat and the unit vector x hat okay. Similarly, r hat dot y hat will give me sin phi. Okay. Similarly, minus sin phi will be dot product of phi and x hat, and cos phi will be dot product of phi and y hat. Okay, so this minus sign is associated with x direction, that it would be pointing in x direction. So with this knowledge we will now be able to transform one vector in cylindrical coordinate system into vector in rectangular coordinate system. Suppose that the vector r, I can write r as consisting of three vectors. Rx, I can resolve this vector as r rx hat, ry y hat, rz z hat. The same vector in cylindrical coordinate system can also be written as r hat plus r phi hat plus rz z hat. You can guess from intuition that rz will be same. or equal to rz in most cases. So you will be right. However, we are now interested in rx, ry, rr and r5. Now I know that r is equals to rx x hat plus ry y hat plus rz z hat. Now if I try to find out the component of r vector along x hat, the vector that is along x-axis, I would be obtaining, I can do that one by finding out the dot product of r along x. So if I do this one, I am going to get the component of rx, correct? So if I do this operation, I am going to get rx. Why? What would happen when you take the x dot with respect to this one? It turn out that x dot into x dot will be equals to 1, because the length of one vector upon itself will be given the length of vector itself. However, what happened, x dot y hat, this becomes equals to 0 because x is perpendicular to y and dot product will equals to 0 when theta AB is equals to 90 degree, right? So this is another definition of perpendicularity or normality or orthogonality. Two vectors are said to be perpendicular to each other or normal to each other or orthogonal to each other when the dot product between two vectors vanishes. Similarly is for x and z hat will also be equals to 0. In fact, corresponding x, y, z for mutually perpendicular set of vectors, something that we looked in the class lectures, r dot x hat will give me rx component. Now I have to dot this r vector in cylindrical coordinate by x vector, okay, right? So I do that one, and this would be also equal to r hat dot x hat phi hat into x hat z hat into x hat. This component is equals to 0. So rx will be equals to r dot x, this is nothing but cos phi. We have seen that r phi dot x phi is nothing but cos phi. In previous slide we have already seen this, that this will be minus phi minus sin phi, okay. Multiply with r phi. What will be ry? You can show similarly by considering dot product of r with y hat. This will be equals to sin phi rr plus cos phi r phi plus 0 times rz. Rz just to complete the equation. I can also write rz equals to 0 times rr plus 0 time r phi plus 1 time rx, okay. Now this might be looking very suspicious, like a set of linear equation, and this are the set of linear equation and these are the set of linear equation, all three. So we can obtain ry, rx, ry, rz. This is rz. If I know the component value of rr, r phi and rz by transformation matrix, which take me from cylinder to rectangular coordinate system. So this is cylinder to rectangular coordinate system, and the matrix is cos phi minus sin phi 0, sin phi cos phi 0, 0, 0, 1. This is 3 into 3 matrix which is transform any vector which is in cylindrical coordinate system into rectangular coordinate system. if you are interested in finding what would be corresponding transformation for rectangular to cylindrical, you can actually shows the transformation is nothing but the inverse of this matrix TCR, and you can show that this will be equal to cos phi sin phi 0 minus sin phi cos phi 0 0 0 1 here. Okay, now these two matrices are very useful to us. In fact, we can take a look at electromagnetic textbook. They are going to give you these kinds of formula which will allow you to convert vector in first coordinate system to another coordinate system. I will give you one simple example for conversion, how to do this particular conversion, and I will point out one very important aspect of cylindrical coordinate system to you. So what is that problem? I have a vector A which is described in rectangular coordinate system having component ax and ay. Okay, ax and ay were x by x square plus y square, y by x square plus y square. Now I want you to find out vector in cylindrical coordinate system. How do I find the vector in cylindrical coordinate system? I have to use the formula that I developed in last slide. So what is the formula? I have to use this transformation matrix. I know ay, I know az is in this case is 0, and then I have to find out ar and a phi and az. Okay, so let me proceed to find out ar a phi will be equals to, because of there is no z component there, I am not going to write down z component for you. I mean, because there is no point in writing down that one, this will be equals to. Okay, so ar is equals to cos phi ax time plus sin phi ay time. Hopefully this is all right. Okay, so we are on right track. This formula is correct. Now substitute ax and ay value. If you substitute ax and ay, you are going to get ar will be equals to cos phi times ax and sin phi times ay. Okay, and you are going to get ar will be equals to this equation by putting ar, ax and ay value. But I also know that a square plus y square is actually r square in cylindrical coordinate system, and I am substituting that also in ax. So ax is x by r square and ay is y by r square. So this is my ar. Now what is x? Cos phi and y sin phi. What is a phi? It is minus sin phi x by r square plus cos phi y by r square. Okay, now let us write down the vector in cylindrical coordinate system. This vector in coordinate system will be equals to 1 by r square is a common factor that is coming out everywhere. Okay, so I can take out common factor and I have x into cos phi plus y sin phi along the radial direction r. So similarly along the phi direction. Okay, but I also know that x is equals to r sin phi and y is equals to r cos phi. just rewrite it. This is cos phi. Okay, now it is correct. So the term will become x equals to r cos phi, and this will become ar is equals to r cos square phi by r square plus r sin square phi by r square. If I take common 1 by r square and r, then sin square phi plus cos square phi will be equals to 1. So ar is nothing else but 1 by r. Is this surprise to you? If you are not surprised, then you should be surprised. Why you should be surprised? Because in order to represent a point which is originally represented in Cartesian coordinate as x and y, or x by r square and y by r square, we had represented in Cartesian coordinate to give you x and y. To represent the same point in cylindrical coordinate system, I still have to give the value of r and phi. I have to tell you what distance that particular point is located and what is the angle with respect to x, and that I have to locate that point on. If I do not give you r and phi, you will not able to point that this point is in cylindrical coordinate system, will correspond to a same point in rectangular coordinate system. There are infinite number of choices, yet my vector A, which was originally ax is equal to x by x square plus y square, or we can say vector A ax x hat plus ay y hat, is actually giving me component only in r. There is no mention of phi component. So phi component is 0 in this case. X of course is also 0 in this case. Does it really means that phi is also 0? If a phi is 0, that is any phi component equals to 0, does this implies that phi is equals to 0? The answer is no. Phi is not 0. Just because there is no phi component, it doesn't mean that phi is also equals to 0. In fact, phi component is given by tan inverse, in this case we can say ay by ax. Okay, to find out what is the value of phi, similarly you know that what is the value of r and or ar component, you should be able to find out phi. So you will see that phi will not be 0. So this is very important step for me to highlight to you. Just because phi component is 0 doesn't mean that phi is 0. It doesn't mean phi is also equals to 0. This is not correct. Do not think a phi component is 0, phi is also 0, but this makes sense physically, because after all, where is my vector pointing? On perpendicular radius. If this is my radius direction, it is in on perpendicular rate. Let us say that this is point where I had originally in Cartesian coordinate system represented by x and y, and I had a set up a particular point also. The corresponding vector in cylindrical coordinate system would be directed from origin passing through that particular point, and this point no doubt is given by r value, but the direction vector is only along r direction. This point is given by r and phi, but direction is along r only. There is no phi component or direction component. or there is no component of vector along phi direction. Okay, so this you keep in mind, it is very important. Now we have seen, okay, this we are going to utilize while discussing infinite line charges. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. Thank you.